Sovete omnes. Hodie discamus Latinam de mare. Mare terraneum. Mare Tyrrhenum. Hodie natamus. Natamus. Ah, we're on the bus. The school bus on a tour. What school, might you ask? A school of fish! We're on a school bus on a tour, and we're not doing anything. We're just watching. We are completely and totally passive. Passive? What does that have to do with Latin, you ask? Thank you for asking. Our endings are ris, ter, mer, many, untur are all passive endings. In fact, when we have passive endings, that means that the subject is not doing the action. The subject is completely passive. Let me give you an example. Now, let's say, for instance, that we have a subject like this. The monkey died. What's the subject? Good, it's the monkey. Now, is the monkey active or passive? Well, the monkey was active when the monkey died. All right, so that's a wonderful sentence for you. Thank you. Here's another one. How about this? The squid ate lots of fish. What's the subject? The squid. Was the squid active or passive? The squid was active because it ate the fish. Great sentence, Magister Lecti. Gratias, Volvisago. How about this one? The student is led through the book. What's the subject, Magister Lecti? Why, it's the student. Is the student doing the action, or is the action being done to the student? The action is being done to the student. It says is led. It must be passive. I'm just realizing I may have spelled lead wrong, although I'm pretty certain I spelled it right. Anyhow, anywho's, what's it? Next sentence. How about this one? The custodian is blessed by the cards. The custodian is blessed by the cards. What's the subject, you might ask? Custodian. Is the custodian doing any action? No. Is the action being done to the custodian? Yes. The custodian is blessed, so it must be passive. Now, let me ask you a really great question, and I know it's going to be great because I've thought of it myself. How do you know what the subject is in an English sentence? Why, it's at the beginning, of course. So if I give you a sentence, the mayonnaise spilled all over the floor, what's the subject? Good, the mayonnaise. If I gave you a sentence like, the windows shattered right in front of my face, what's the subject? The windows. Thank you. If I said, we are led through the dining hall, what's the subject? We. Okay, good. Now, once we know that, once we've identified the subject, and we know that it's a subject because it comes first in an English sentence, it comes first. Wait, let me ask you again. Where do we figure out where the subject comes from in an English sentence? The subject is first. The subject is first. Okay, now we know where the subject comes from. it's first in an English sentence. And if the subject is first in an English sentence, then we can tell whether the subject is doing something or not. If it's doing something, it's active. If the action's being done to it, it is passive. Okay, now, next thing, let's actually look at, please open with me, page 152. Page 152, let's look at it. I want you to notice that we have these active and these passive endings. Active and passive endings. And I'd like to just talk about these very, very quickly, if you don't mind. Oops, I forgot to clear the screen. Let's clear that off. You'll notice that we have porto, portas, portat, portamus, portatis, and portant. And to make this a passive, to make these words passive, we simply add an R, we add a ris, we add a tour, we change that S to an R, mer. Tis is completely crossed out, we add many. And then we have untur. We have untur. So R, ris, ter, mer, many, and tur. Notice there on page 152, page 152 that is, we have R, ris, ter, mer, many, and tur. What if we wanted to make the imperfect passive? Thanks for asking. So if we want to make the imperfect passive, what we do is we take our M, S, T, mus, tis, und. We change those two, cross all those out, R, ris, tur, mer, many, untur. And so there you go, mer, many, untur. There it is. That's how that works. Congratulations, everybody. Now, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and do part three, A through F on page 152. Part 3, A through F. Let's do part A together. Cur ad carcerem reducimur. Oh, do you see that more? More means we, but it's passive. We are what? Reduc. Duco means, what does duco mean? Lead. What does reduco mean? Lead back. Good. Why are we led back to the prison? Why are we led back to the prison? You are surrounded. Circumveniris, you are surrounded by the enemy. Circumveniris, you are surrounded by the enemy. Okay, I'd like you to finish those last ones, B through F. That's your whole assignment, as well as memorizing your passive endings, R, ris, ter, mer, many, and tur. All right, until next time, folks. Valete, pax vobiscum.